Most people think budgeting is about restriction. They hear the word budget and immediately think about cutting everything, saying no to life, living with pressure, and feeling guilty every time they spend money. And because of that, many people avoid budgeting completely. They say, I do not want to feel controlled. I do not want to track every little thing. I do not make enough money to budget. I'll start when my finances get better. But here is the problem. Avoiding a budget does not create freedom. Very often, it creates more stress. Because if you do not tell your money where to go, you usually end up wondering where it went. So in this video, I want to talk about one of the biggest budgeting mistakes that keeps people stressed. And that mistake is simple. People treat budgeting like a restriction instead of treating it like a plan. That difference matters a lot. Because a budget is not supposed to punish you. A good budget is supposed to help you see clearly, make better decisions, reduce pressure, and use your money with more purpose. And before we continue, please subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment below. That really helps us grow the channel and helps more people find simple lessons on money, business, mindset, and smarter financial decisions. Let's start with the basic idea. A budget is simply a plan for your money. That is it. It is not a prison. It is not a punishment. It is not only for people who are broke. And it is not only for people who are very organized. A budget is a plan. It helps you decide before the month begins how your money should be used. Without a budget, money usually moves by emotion, habit, pressure, and reaction. You spend when you feel tired. You buy when you feel stressed. You ignore bills until they become urgent. You make decisions based on what feels good today. And then at the end of the month, you feel confused. That is stressful. But the stress does not come mainly from budgeting. The stress often comes from not knowing. Not knowing how much you spent. Not knowing how much is left. Not knowing whether you can afford something. Not knowing why money keeps disappearing. Not knowing what is coming next. Financial confusion creates stress. Budgeting is supposed to reduce that confusion. But many people never experience that benefit because they approach budgeting the wrong way. They think budgeting means, I cannot enjoy anything. I must cut everything. I must feel guilty. I must become extreme. That is not healthy budgeting. That is fear-based budgeting. A healthy budget does not say, you can never spend. A healthy budget says, let's spend with intention. That is the key word, intention. The goal of budgeting is not to stop all spending. The goal is to stop unconscious spending. Because unconscious spending is one of the biggest reasons people feel stressed with money. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine someone earns a regular salary every month. At the beginning of the month, they feel okay. Money comes in. Bills are not due yet. Everything feels manageable. Then small expenses start happening. Coffee, takeout, subscriptions, online shopping, fuel, groceries, a birthday gift, a small repair, a few emotional purchases, a few things bought because they were on sale. None of these expenses feels huge on its own. But by the end of the month, the money is almost gone. And the person thinks, how did this happen again? That is the stress of unplanned spending. Not because the person is terrible with money, but because there was no clear plan. Small decisions repeated without awareness can create big pressure. This is why budgeting matters. A budget helps you see the whole month before the month controls you. Now let's talk about the biggest budgeting mistake more clearly. The mistake is not only failing to make a budget. The deeper mistake is making a budget that does not fit real life. Some people try to create a perfect budget. They make it too strict, too unrealistic, too detailed, too painful. They give themselves no room for normal life, no room for small enjoyment, no room for unexpected expenses, no room for reality. Then, after one mistake, they feel like they failed, so they quit. That is very common. But a budget that is impossible to follow is not a good budget. A good budget should be honest. It should reflect your real income, your real expenses, your real habits, and your real responsibilities. If you spend money on food outside the house every month, pretending that you will spend zero is probably not realistic. If you have irregular expenses, pretending they will not happen is not realistic. If you have children, family needs, transport costs, repairs, or social responsibilities, those things need to be considered. A realistic budget is much better than a perfect budget that you abandon. The goal is progress, not perfection. Now let's look at what happens when people do not budget properly. First, they lose clarity. They may earn money, but they do not really know where it goes. Second, they lose control. Money begins to control them instead of them directing the money. Third, they feel guilt, because every purchase feels uncertain. Fourth, they become reactive. Instead of planning ahead, they keep responding to pressure. And fifth, they stay stressed, because there is no margin, no structure, and no clear direction. This is why budgeting is not just a financial tool. It is also a stress reduction tool. A budget gives your money a job before emotion gives it a job. That is a powerful idea. Now let's make this very practical. If you want a better budget, start with 5 simple steps. Step 1, know your real income. This sounds basic, but many people do not think clearly about what actually comes into their account. Do not budget from fantasy income. Do not budget from what you wish you earned. Budget from what actually comes in. If your income changes from month to month, use a conservative number. It is better to plan carefully than to pretend. Step 2, list your fixed expenses. These are the expenses that usually stay the same or are required every month. Rent or mortgage, utilities, phone, internet, insurance, loan payments, subscriptions, transport, basic food, anything that must be paid. This step gives you a picture of your financial commitments. Step 3, list your variable expenses. These are the expenses that change. Groceries, eating out, fuel, clothes, gifts, entertainment, repairs, family needs, unexpected costs. This is where many budgets fail. People remember the fixed bills, but forget the variable expenses. And then they are surprised when the month becomes stressful. Step 4, create categories for real life. Do not only create serious categories, create realistic categories. Food, bills, transport, debt, savings, giving, family, fun, emergency, business or learning. A budget should include responsibility, but also reality. If you do not plan for small enjoyment, you may rebel against your own budget. If you do not plan for unexpected expenses, every surprise will feel like failure. Step 5, review and adjust every week. This is where budgeting becomes powerful. A budget is not something you make once and then ignore. It needs review. Maybe every Sunday, maybe once a week, maybe twice a month. The point is to look honestly and ask, where did my money go? What surprised me? What needs adjusting? What decision can I improve next week? This is how budgeting becomes learning, not shame, learning. Now let's talk about something important. A budget does not fix everything immediately. If income is too low, budgeting alone may not solve every problem. If debt is too high, budgeting may feel painful at first. If expenses are heavy, budgeting may reveal uncomfortable truth. But that is still valuable, because truth is better than confusion. You cannot improve what you refuse to look at. A budget may not magically give you more money, but it can show you where the pressure is coming from. And once you see clearly, you can begin making better decisions. Maybe you need to reduce some expenses. Maybe you need to increase income. Maybe you need to stop using debt for lifestyle. Maybe you need to delay some emergency fund. Maybe you need to delay some purchases. Maybe you need to talk honestly with your family about money. Clarity creates better choices. That is why budgeting matters. Now let's address another common belief. Some people say, I do not make enough money to budget. But usually, the less margin you have, the more you need clarity. If your income is limited, you cannot afford to be careless. You need to know what is happening. Not because budgeting makes everything easy, but because it helps you survive with more wisdom. When money is tight, every decision matters more. That does not mean you should live in fear. It means you should live with awareness. There is a big difference. Fear says, I am trapped. Awareness says, I need to see clearly and take the next wise step. That is a healthier mindset. Now let's bring this into a simple example. Imagine two people earning the same salary. Person one has no budget. They spend as the month goes. They hope everything works out. They avoid checking the bank account because it creates anxiety. At the end of the month, they are stressed again. Person two has a simple budget. Not perfect, not complicated, but clear. They know what comes in. They know what must go out. They plan for food, bills, debt, savings, and small enjoyment. They review once a week. They adjust when needed. Both people may have the same income, but they do not have the same level of control. And over time, that difference matters. Budgeting does not make you rich overnight, but it can help you become more stable. And stability is the beginning of financial progress. Now here is the heart of the lesson. The budgeting mistake that keeps people stressed is thinking that a budget is there to limit your life. But a good budget is there to lead your money. It helps you choose on purpose. It helps you avoid panic. It helps you notice waste. It helps you prepare for what is coming. It helps you build margin. It helps you stop living only in reaction. And that is a big deal, because money stress is not only about numbers, it is also about uncertainty. And a budget reduces uncertainty. So here is the bottom line. Budgeting is not about being poor. Budgeting is not about being cheap. Budgeting is not about punishing yourself. Budgeting is about clarity. It is about leadership. It is about telling your money where to go before the month disappears. So here is your action step. This week, do not try to create a perfect budget. Create a simple one. Write down 3 things: what comes in, what must go out, and what you want to do on purpose with what remains. That is enough to begin. Then review it once a week. Do not use the budget to shame yourself. Use it to learn. Because the goal is not perfection. The goal is progress. And over time, clear progress can reduce stress and build a stronger financial life. If this video helped you, subscribe to Business Made Simple, like the video, and leave a comment below telling me this. What part of budgeting do you find most stressful? Tracking expenses, cutting spending, planning ahead, or sticking to the plan? That really helps us grow the channel, and I appreciate it. Thanks for watching.